Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Wilson Alvarez with MiamiBusiness.com. Today, we have the pleasure of having some fun. We're going to talk entertainment, and we have an amazing guy here with us. He's from Salsa Kings. If you want to learn to salsa, this is one of the great guys in Miami that you can absolutely learn from. His name is Andres Fernandez with Salsa Kings. What a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for having us.
I'm dying to know, when did you learn to salsa?
Wow. When did I learn? Well, I knew I was going to learn when let's see. Let me tag a year on it. 2003, 2004. Somebody danced with my girlfriend, bro. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's the truth.
Is that a high school thing, or?
That was a high school thing.
Yeah.
That was a high school thing. And, it's just one of those, draw the line in the sand type deals,
Motivation.
Oh, absolutely. After being so many years in the business, there's definitely nothing wrong with that at all. But I definitely learned the value of being able to offer that to your significant other, specifically, women need to dance, bro. They need to express themselves, man. And
men too, by the way.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, so I can dance, but not necessarily salsa, but I can do the, not even the disco thing, but I guess freestyle.
Right. Sure.
I can dance, but I never did the salsa thing. I was married for a very long time, and I don't know. So,
Right.
It was just recently that I took lessons, and then I messed up my Achilles ankle.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So then I had surgery, and then listen, it's excuse after excuse. Now I have a problem with my knee, but I do know the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
There you go. Okay, good. That's a start.
And I know the very beginning of it, and it's fun. It can be fun, but it's a little intimidating. Like, I do not feel comfortable.
Sure.
So I know what you mean when you were in high school. I do not feel comfortable asking a girl to dance salsa.
Right.
Because te acomplejado.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's what we try and overcome. You're not the only man. You're not the only person that feels that way. The majority of men do. And that's just simply because we're in our heads. We're programmed that way. We're designed that way. We have to overthink things. We have to know exactly what we're doing. But what we teach in our classes is the ability to let go, the ability to understand that this is an art form, the ability to understand that there is no wrong way once you pass the rules.
Right.
So we teach these simple rules: walk, pause, and repeat. Walk, meaning that's how you transfer your weight. It's nothing you don't know how to do. You pause every third step, and you just keep repeating that. As long as you're doing that, then you have a connection and a synergy with your partner. As long as you have a connection and a synergy with your partner, checkmate, you're dancing salsa. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
So the same way that you learn, if you know how to play checkers and I know how to play checkers, we can play checkers together. Right? The rules of checkers. The same thing with salsa. You know the rules of salsa. I know the rules of salsa. Then we can dance salsa together. So as long as we don't overcomplicate those rules, which is unfortunately a lot of our competition does, which kind of stretches out the time frame in which one needs to learn, we simplify it so that after literally our first class or your first class, you already have a sense and an awareness of what at least the end goal is, to be able to finish one song. If you can finish one song, you can finish 2, you can finish 3, you can dance the whole night, because it's the same thing. And then from there, then you start to evolve that and actually begin to express yourself and to actually let go. But the thinking about it ends in the first 5 minutes of the class. Then you get into actually practicing relaxing, and which is a whole nother.
The practicing and the relaxing is so crucial and critical. So I'm going to share a little story.
Please.
So I started dancing, and I felt very uncomfortable, of course, dancing, but I would do it every now and then. Then all of a sudden, I danced with this young lady. She was Colombian, actually, and she danced so amazing that she stepped up my game. That's the best person I've ever danced with.
Absolutely.
And if you would have probably seen me, you probably thought that, hey, this guy dances pretty good. But the reality is that now, if I go out and I it's again complejo.
Right. Well, that's the idea.
It's a practice thing. Like, I don't feel comfortable.
Right.
I can dance 80s music all day long.
Right. Well,
Salsa?
and that's the idea, is that with partner dance as a whole, salsa, merengue, bachata, even if you want to extend to kizomba, tango, all of that is when you're dancing with another human being.
Yeah.
You have to have a certain common ground. So the idea is that you have a confidence and a sense so much of what you're doing that you bring and literally lift up the other person with you, which is what you experienced as well. So that makes me really happy. So the idea is that you have enough of that. You experience enough of that to where you'll be able to start to develop your own sense of confidence to be able to do that for someone else, knowing that there's certain common denominators there, which is what I mentioned to you. You're walking, you're pausing, and you're repeating. Obviously, with the beat of the music, which we teach as well. But at the end of the day, what we're going for is that fun factor, is being able to let go, being able to disconnect, and to enjoy the music and allow that to be a medium in which to express yourself with.
So tell me very quickly, what does the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 mean? Because we skipped the 4 and the 8.
Right.
But I want you to tell me why.
Sure. So in music, you're beating, the beats are 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, in general, you're clapping, right? So when it's phrased in dance, we basically we double it, if you would. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'd be 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5. Those are your standard beats as that's repeating. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 is the times in which you step. So you're stepping 1, 2, 3, you pause on the 4, 5, 6, 7, you pause on the 8. So mathematically speaking, 1 through 8 just repeats itself over and over. The music just repeats itself. So as long as you're within that bar of music, you're good stepping on those specific numbers.
So on the 4 and the 8, is that when you actually do the turns and or step to the side, etc.?
So there's no specific anything. So that's the almost the hardest part to understand is we start to get into the intangibles, because there is no specific thing that you're supposed to do anywhere except stepping on 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Everything else is completely up to you. It's completely up to how you feel in the music, which that's what makes the common denominator, how everyone is the same, but everybody looks different at the same time, because there's no specific anything. There is on the 4 and the 8, because you're not stepping, a breath.
Right.
So with that breath, with that space, you're able to arguably express yourself more. But no, there's no specific place to do absolutely anything. And that's what makes it so fun and so liberating, if you would.
So what's your favorite band? What's your favorite salsa band? Who's your go-to artist? Maybe even song and or band.
Sure. So I'm a little biased because I'm Cuban. So the Cuban music, the timba, the song, so I personally love Los Bambang. I love
Azúcar.
Celia Cruz, of course, Manolito y su Trabuco. Shout out to Nick and Taya, who's a young band from here, from Miami, Timba Live. They're all fantastic, but essentially Cuban music, rooted in the song. It's just so much more juicy. There's a lot of the mambo bands which have the European influence as well, from New York. You heard of your Puerto Rican mambo, etc., so on and so forth. It has a different sound. I love it too, but definitely the Cuban music essentially is where.
Last question, and it may be a controversial question.
Shoot.
Where did salsa really originate from?
Sure,
I know the answer.
Okay,
but go.
That's a fantastic question. The answer, salsa, if we're to be specific, salsa originated in the United States. Salsa is American. In New York City. In New York City with the Puerto Ricans.
Now starts with a who? With a who? With the Puerto Ricans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. So, but here's the thing: salsa was born and was created from and originated from, if you would, its father is the Cuban song. So unfortunately,
It was rebranded. Is that the right way to say
that's
it?
a great way to say it.
Yeah.
Actually, it was rebranded, it was repackaged and sold, and it did so well. It sold so well. It did. The marketing team did a fantastic job. It's business at the end of the day. But they took this Cuban song, this bass, and they rephrased it and they restructured it and they called it salsa because it's a mix of a lot of different things, and they put superstars behind it and they exploded it, and thank God, because otherwise it wouldn't be where it is today. So salsa, to be technical, is American with Puerto Rican roots, founded in the Cuban song. So that's where that argument comes in.
I know I told you last question, but
sure.
Who's the king of salsa in your opinion?
Are we talking music or are we talking dance?
Music.
Wow, man. So for me, they're so. I love it all, dude. I really do, and I know that's like a, you could say like a common answer, if you would, or like a politically correct one. Wow, man. I would say nowadays, I would probably say, as commercial as he is, he's just doing the job and he doesn't stop. It's Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony is a current king.
Yeah.
So who do you think the originator was?
Wow. I'll leave that to you. I'll pass the ball on that one.
This is a completely different conversation. I'm going to say Bobby Cruz for sure.
Okay.
And he influenced many, including Hector Lavoe.
Absolutely.
And let's just leave it at that. But Bobby Cruz is the man.
I hear you.
He needs to be acknowledged for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's an animal. So amazing.
But it was amazing having this conversation with you.
No, for sure, man.
And let's do it again soon. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. MiamiBusiness.com. This is our entertainment section, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.